Flight boss, bitch. For sure. You're not listening to the Mind of an Terry Smooth. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now, we're going to talk about health and astrology. Health and astrology. Because the motherfucker go together like peanut butter and jelly. I tell you not. I tell you nothing wrong, motherfucker. I tell you nothing wrong. Now, I'm going to tell you like this, right? We're going to start breaking down the health issues within the body and shit like that. But listen, where there's an effect, there's a cause. Where there's an effect, there's a cause, right? So whatever you are affected by, it was caused. And 9 times out of 10, it was caused by the state of being you was in. Now, what does that mean, the state of being you was in? It means the energy signature that you chose to cling on to and resonate with. And slowly but surely, you have let that manifest itself and make itself a part of you. Now, whether that was negative or positive, that's what this motherfucking video is about. But it's really about the negative attributes. And it goes a little motherfucking deeper than this. You know why? You know why? Because look, not only throughout this video you're going to learn about your health issues and where they're actually coming from, but it doesn't even necessarily depend on you having a health issue. So if you ain't got no health problem right now and you motherfucking fine, that doesn't mean you ain't got slapped upside your motherfucking head before. That don't mean a female ain't come clock you upside your fucking face with a lock, with some knives and shit. That don't mean a nigga ain't come punch you in your motherfucking face or shoot you and stab your motherfucking ass and shit like that. So this is also going to help you determine why you are getting bodily harm from outside people, places, and things. Also, motherfucker hit you upside your head, you need to look at the first house. Motherfucker kick you in your nuts, you need to look at the 8th house. Female girl try to take your arm and scratch your arm and stab you in your arm and shit, you need to look at the 3rd house. You see what I'm saying? Even shit like that. So it doesn't just necessarily means, it means the state of being you are in. And the state of being you are in is going to manifest certain situations that play out as harmful or shit that may that fuck up your health. And it's not all necessarily backed and supported by an enemy. An enemy doesn't necessarily have to do this. That's just correlating with the 1st and the 8th house. 9 times out of 10, say you driving with somebody and the person who driving get you into a car accident. Now, this person wasn't an enemy, but you being around this person caused you to be in a harmful or cause a health issue. Because now you got to get on the motherfucking stretcher, you know what I'm saying, for that motherfucking money, But let's just say you really was hurt. You see what I'm saying? The person you was with caused bodily harm for you, but they wasn't necessarily an enemy. So this is going to help you determine all that shit throughout this motherfucking video right now. Health and goddamn astrology. So let's break this shit down. Let's talk about each location of the body. So listen, check this out. Right? Because here's the big thing you need to understand, right? Game can't be told. It has to be experienced. Game can't be told. It has to be experienced. What do I mean by that? You can't be going around looking for how something helped somebody else and thinking it's going to work the same way it worked for them for you. It don't work like that in any realm of reality. Not from health issues, not from success stories, not from nothing. Someone else's situation is never going to be the cure for your motherfucking situation. So what I mean by game can't be told, it can only be experienced. What I mean is you have to experience and go through these energy signatures for yourself to find your own cure, to find what works for you. You see what I'm saying? What helps your headache may not help someone else's headache. And this is where we get the concept of medical astrology science. Astrology, medical astrology. You know what I'm saying? This is why doctors need to know your birthday and shit like that so they can know how much Ritalin to give your motherfucking ass. But other than shit like that, just for basic health issues. So, for the most part, let's break this motherfucking shit down. Now, before we talk about how you know what you're getting influenced by, let's talk about each area, right? So, for the most part, the 1st house. So, if you got the 1st house rules the head, eyes, ears, the brain, the skull. Anybody home? Anybody home? Not. But all up in there and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You see the head right there, the ears, the eye problems, head problems and shit like that. If hair problems, you know what I'm saying? If you want to find a new hairstyle, find a new hairdo, or you may be up in some age and you may be losing hair. You know what I'm saying? All this is correlated to the 1st house. So you're gonna want to look at your 1st house, right? So if you have a health issue here, I'm gonna let you know why you got it, but let me break down each area, right? Now, the throat area, this is the 2nd house. So any problem you got with your throat, your tongue, your teeth, your tonsils. I used to have tonsil problems, tonsillitis when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? So I said fuck it and went through the pain, and eventually it went away. I didn't want to get them pulled out, but I don't trust any human in this fucking world. But for the most part, you know what I'm saying, I just looked at it like that. But if you got tonsil problems and things of that nature, a lot of people got teeth problems, gum balls, you know, like canker sores and shit like that. A lot of females I be seeing be having like black spots on their motherfucking tongue and shit. Oh, you can get the scrape. Then don't get the strap, get the scrape. But for the most part, yeah, you know, you might got tongue problems or things of that nature, hard to swallow, or any kind of problem you're dealing with. I think thyroid. I might be saying that wrong, but for the most part, any problem up here dealing that you got, or your teeth, or your tongue, and all these problems that you're dealing with, that'll be look towards the second house if you got issues in that area. Right? Or somebody, we used to play with people in high school all the time, chop them in the neck real fast. Somebody be talking, they be like, oh, you chop them in the neck real fast and cut their conversation. Hey, sometimes I wish I was back in school for that kind of shit. Alright, now look, but he's like, boop, karate chop, boop, you can't talk, you can't finish your conversation. Alright, let's get off that shit though. But look, check this out. Alright, so that's the throat area, right? So that'll be the second house. Now, if you want to figure out why I did that to your motherfucking neck, you might need to go back and look at your second house if people doing that to you in school. Now, alright, the chest area, but like on the external, the surroundings. So not the inner, but the surroundings. So the chest in general, and what connects to the shoulder blades, the arms, the elbows, and the hands. So if you got hands, finger problems, you know, I got a lot of niggas who be trying to do a lot of shit and bag and twist shit up and shit like that. And they, you know what I'm saying, their hands be like this and shit like that. You be like, man, what's wrong with your hand? They be like, oh man, my shit was like this since I was born. So they may, me as Archangel Uriel, I'll be like, motherfucker, you might need to look at your third house. So you can stretch that motherfucker out. But for the most part, yeah. You know what I'm saying? We in a situation where your hands and even your lungs, because your lungs is intaking air and it's breathing it out. So your lungs and then the things that's attached to your lungs as far as your shoulders, your chest, you know what I'm saying? You might got a hairy chest or whatever like that, lung problems, shoulder problems. You know, some people who play football, they throw the football, but if they got a weak muscle there, they bone feel like it go out of place and shit like that. So you be like, oh, I gotta do some push-ups or work out so I can build that tissue there so I don't feel that no more, so I can throw the football right. Fuck football. But for the most part, yeah, situations like that and shit like that, you might punch a motherfucker right in your arm, lock up for a second, then it fuck up the whole rest of the fight and shit. You like, oh fuck, I gotta use my left now. You know what I'm saying? Then you gotta trick a nigga and make him think that you are left. You know what I'm saying? So that get a nigga scared a little bit and shit like that. So if you just do straight hits, don't suffer the swing if you ain't left-handed. Don't do all that. Just do the straight, and the straight hurt just as much as the motherfucker swing if you are right-handed, motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? We're gonna get deep in this motherfucker. But if you're dealing with any kind of situations and circumstances like this is how you need to know that the third house is motherfucking is dealing with all that energy. Now the fourth house is dealing with the heart, and the heart only. So the heart and all things that's dealing with your blood. You got weak blood. Every time you go to the hospital, they say something wrong with blood cells. You got a loss of this many blood cells, or any type of heart problems. You got a heart murmur, or whatever type of situations that's dealing with the heart in general. That's dealing with the fourth house. You know what I'm saying? So you need to look towards your fourth house. Now, like just same way, the moon is the only thing that rules Cancer. You know what I'm saying? The fourth house, the only thing that rules the goddamn heart. And same way as the motherfucking fifth house. The fifth house is correlated to your guts, your stomach, your gut, the passion, that digestive system, the movement, the movement through, the red shift, the light, the hot, the heat, the heatness, the shit that transform everything that go into you so it to get flushed out and shit like that. So the only thing that rules the stomach, the gut, is the fifth house. You see what I'm saying? So if you got stomach problems, like me, I got stomach problems, so I gotta look towards my fifth house. So the way I handle my stomach problems in my own cure way, right, is my own natural way. So anybody else who got my same problem, it may not be the same type of issues or the circumstances after the fact. This is why we all need to find our own paths. But for the most part, like I said, the fifth house is dealing with your stomach, the gut, and all that shit right there. You know what I'm saying? Same way the sun only rules Leo. You know what I'm saying? The fifth house only rules the stomach and the gut area. Now, when we talk about same way the solar plexus, the sun, rules the stomach area of the being that we are in at the moment. This is why it's the hottest in the summertime. Now, check this out. Now, we talk about the motherfucking sixth house. Now, the sixth house is the whole nervous system. Your immune system, nervous system, all that shit. All the shit that developed, the sensories that's connected to the left bone, the right hip connected to the right bone, all that kind of shit, you know what I'm saying? But you know, like the wiring and the nerve system that connect from the brain to the all the wiring. Look, this is cords. Y'all motherfuckers is electric, water, magnetic cords and shit like that. That's what y'all motherfuckers need to fucking understand and shit like that. Y'all that's wires and cords. Nigga, you ain't no fucking human, nigga, you a fucking machine. You a fucking machine. You plugged in somewhere. You motherfuckers is plugged in somewhere. You was plugged into your ball, got unplugged by your navel, the umbilical cord. But now your ass plugged in somewhere. And the third dimension is crazy. And I fucks with y'all in the third dimension. I fucks with y'all. Believe it or not, I fucks with y'all. Now, for the most part, the sixth house represents. So if you got bad nerves, and then all the health issues that come from having bad nerves, like cancer, leukemia, lupus, you know, all those problems that come from having bad. You might lose all your teeth. All the type of issues that come from bad nerves. You know what I'm saying? Did I say leukemia? You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of shit, even AIDS and shit like that. All the shit that come from you just being in a bad energy state. You need to look towards your sixth house and everything that's dealing with the nerve systems and your nerves. Now, seventh house is dealing with the kidneys, liver, and hips. You know what I'm saying? So all things that separate your lower half from your upper half, that'll be the seventh house area. So if you got hip problems, it's hard for you to bend down. Like when I used to pick up my daughter, even though I got a hernia, I know my problems, but a lot of times my lower back burn. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh shit, I gotta hurry up and sit down real quick and shit like that. So yeah, you got issues like that, kidney issues, liver issues. You might got kidney stones. You might got liver problems. You may drink too goddamn much, because 9 times out of 10, that's the reason why you got liver problems. So your state of being is always gonna be the goddamn cause. But if it didn't got out of hand, we're gonna talk about how to curate these things. But for the most part, we're just talking about where everything is at right now. So kidneys, liver, hips, and all that shit. It's hard to bend over, or you walk with a hunch or shit like that. You might need to look towards your seventh house. Eighth house, right? So this dealing with the pelvis, the pelvis, the sex organs, right? You know what I'm saying? You may be a female, you can't get wet. You know what I'm saying? You may be a nigga and you can't get up. You might be a male, you can't get it up. Can't get it up. What the fuck? What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? But shit like that, you know what I'm saying? And not even just those organs, even the feces, or it might be hard to urinate. You might have problems urinating. You might have problems taking a shit, or you might have problems, or that you might need a colostomy bag, or you know, things that's dealing with this nature, or females, you may got spots and shit on your coochie and shit like that, and things of that nature, or homie, you might got a weird shaping looking one to the point that no bitch want to fuck you or suck your dick or anything of that nature. So you know, if you're dealing with these kind of issues and things of that nature, you need to be looking towards the eighth house. Any issue dealing with the pelvic area, or problems releasing inner urges outerly, whether you was eating something and then it came out through your ass, or whether you're having sex and then that orgasm comes out through that way. But whatever you killing inside you to flush out of you as dead pieces for other spirits to go in and take that motherfucking life, male and females, y'all need to look towards the eighth house and having problems in that area down there. Now, if you got thigh problems, sensitive thighs, people could do the Charlie horse for you real easy and shit like that. You know, there's a lot of females, I used to like tickle their thighs real fast, and some females are way more sensitive than others. You know what I'm saying? If the ones that's sensitive, you may need to look towards your ninth house. You see what I'm saying? Also, when we talk about thigh problems in general, you may not even like your thighs. You may have a lot of Charlie horses. Your thighs lock up a lot of times. You may there's a lot of circumstances, situations, somebody might have shot your ass in your motherfucking thighs and shit like that. You need to be looking towards your motherfucking ninth house. Now, knees. You got bad knees, bad kneecaps, arthritis in your knees, hard for you to run, or hard for you to walk, or you got a lot of knee problems and shit like that and motherfucking shit. You need to be paying attention to your motherfucking 10th house. See what I'm saying? And even if you having bad circumstances in your life where it's hard for you to gain stability in your life, look towards your motherfucking 10th house. 11th house, your shins. So anytime you got shin problems, or motherfucking calf problems, or motherfucking UFC young boy and shit like You know what I'm saying? The motherfucker just kick you in your motherfucking shins hard as fuck. You like, goddamn, this shit goddamn hurt. Ah! But now, it ain't never been right every goddamn since. You need to be looking towards your motherfucking 11th house. Or if you have bad shin or calves in general, or irregular calves. You know how some people like, damn, your calves look built as fuck. These motherfuckers is weak as hell. They can't motherfucking kick a goddamn fucking can of motherfucking Pepsi. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta understand these things. Like, people got fucked up the calves and fucking shins all over the place. You need to be looking at your 11th house. Now, 12th house. 12th house, right? Now, if you got fucked up feet, if your feet is fucked up, or motherfucking irregular and all kind of shit, or motherfucker your feet is always rashy, or motherfucker your toenails is fucking look burnt out like they done smoked 100 fucking woolies, or you done got your feet caught in somebody's muffler and shit, and they was riding in a motherfucking 86 Chevy, and then those motherfucking mufflers gonna exhaust, so your feet got it all ashy and all that fucking shit, and toenails looking all like they worn out and shit like that. If you got fucking feet callous, or you dance like you got 2 left feet, you might need to look at your goddamn 12th house. Or if you just got feet problems in general. A lot of people got corns. A lot of people got their feet ache. They can't stand for long times. They got flat feet. You need to look at your 12th house. So now that we know where all the spaces and locations at where the health problems take place and what house to look at. So if you got a head problem or eye problem or things of that nature, or you need to know that, you need to look at the first house. Now, let's go a little motherfucker deeper in this motherfucker. Now, here's how the health problems come. Now, right? So, like I said, if you got a head problem in the first house, right? But here's how the health problems come. They come towards influence. So, it is based on a star, aka a planet, either being in that house or opposing or squaring that house. I repeat, your health problem comes from a planet being in that house or squaring and opposing that house. Like I said, if you got chest problems, lung problems, look towards the 3rd house. Now, you might got a planet there or a planet squaring and opposing that 3rd house. And that's what's causing the actual chest problem. Like I said, if you got a heart problem, that'd be the 4th house. So you either got a planet there or you got a planet squaring and opposing the 4th house for you to have a heart problem. Okay? Now that we got that clear. Now, here's the thing, right? The star determines the cause of the issue. So the actual star shows you the actual issue in the first place. You see what I'm saying? So like I said, if you got a head problem, you'll look towards the first house. You'll look towards the first house. And then in the first house, by you having a head problem, that means you have a star there or a star squaring and opposing that first house for you to have a head problem. Now, the star it is, the actual planet it is going to tell you how the issue occur. So say it was the sun that's in your first house, or square and opposing your first house, that's causing you to have a lot of head problems or eye problems. Say it's the sun. The problem got caused by either overacting or putting too much effort and energy into something. Whatever it is, it doesn't even have to necessarily either have to do with your eye. You may been putting too much effort and energy into picking on somebody, and that person was the person who threw a rock at your eye. You see what I'm saying? Or if you got an eye problem in general, right? Now, since it's the sun that's in the first house or squaring or opposing, right? It's the eye problem initiated from you overacting or paying attention or putting too much effort into something subconsciously. And to help that problem, we're going to get into all the helping issues. You see what I'm saying? But you have to lighten that up. And not lighten it up, but put more shade in that area, since it is the sun. Every planet works out differently. The sun gives off light, so you would have to dim in that light. You see what I'm saying? All right, now, if it's the moon, it's because you were overreacting or attaching too much of yourself or vibe into something. Keep that in mind. You was attaching too much of yourself or too much of your vibe into something. So you made yourself too much a part of something else. You took too much a part of yourself into something else, and then that manifested slowly but surely into having that health problem or having someone else causing that bodily harm to you in that area of life, whatever the house the moon is in or squaring and opposing. See what I'm saying? Now, if it's Mercury, it comes from overthinking about something. Overthinking about something. So keep that in mind. It comes from overthinking, overanalyzing about something. So let me make an example, because let me make an example about okay. Say you got all right, let's just go through it. Okay, Venus. You got, it comes from overindulging. So if it's the planet Venus that's in that house, or squaring or opposing the house that's triggering your health problem, the root cause come from in overindulging in whatever you was doing. So keep that in mind. See what I'm saying? Keep that in mind. Now, if it's Mars, it comes from anger or too much aggression. See what I'm saying? Anger or too much aggression. Keep that in mind. Now, if it's Saturn, it's from being too serious or not understanding your boundaries and limits amongst something. And that's how that health problem came. So if it's Saturn in that house or squaring or opposing that house that's causing the problem of you, like if you got stomach problems, then you will look towards the 5th house. And if it's Saturn in that 5th house, or if Saturn squaring or opposing the 5th house in some way, you know what I'm saying? Now, opposing the 5th house, that means Saturn will have to be in the 11th house. You know what I'm saying? If it's squaring the 5th house, then that means Saturn will have to be in the 8th or the 8th or the 2nd house. You see what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. Now, if now that's from being too serious or not understanding, right? Now, if it's Uranus, it's from being too rebellious, or it may have been because of a unique and original circumstance or situation. You see what I'm saying? Or just from you being too rebellious about something, or it might just truly be a unique and it might just be a unique situation that just happened to you. It might not be a grand reason. If it's Uranus there, it might just be something you're forced to have to deal with in your life. And you have to change and rebel and oppose against that energy in some type of way and learn something in this lifetime. See, once we start to get to the outer planets, we start to get past and shit, like past things here and all kind of shit get tricky. Because even with Neptune, it's not taking your senses serious. So if it's Neptune in this house or squaring or opposing this house, it's because you're not taking you ain't take something serious enough in that area of life. And a health problem derived out of that, or bodily harm derived out of that. If it's Pluto means transformation. So Pluto means that this is what's transforming you right now. You need this experience so you can learn power and control. So you can learn what you have power and control over and what you don't have power and control over. And for you to transform your life for the better, and don't let life transform you for the worse. You transform life. Don't let life transform you. Take back power and control. And that's the health problem. That's how you have to look at your health problem if it's Pluto. So, all right. So now you look at it like, okay, damn. Okay, now you telling me how I got this health problem, how to resolve it if I already got it, if I ain't know this ahead of time. Let's get into it. Let's get it motherfucking to it. All right, check this out. This is how you help your health problems, right? You have to use the house lord's house energy. What do I mean by that, right? Say your first house is Virgo. That means Mercury rules your first house. So wherever Mercury is at, Mercury may fall in the 3rd house. Mercury may fall in the 4th house. That will be the energies you have to use. You will have to use Mercury in that house. Use that energy to help rectify your health issue. You see what I'm saying? So the more you dive yourself and look around in that house. So say Mercury is in the 4th house. Say Virgo rules your first house. You're a Virgo ascendant, but Mercury falls into the 4th house. Now say you have a lot of headaches. you got to look towards the first house, right? So now if Mercury is in the fourth house, right? Now, and it's the same reason why you got a goddamn headache, right? Because Mercury would either be in the fourth house, or it will be in the 10th house, or it will be in the first house, or it would be in the 7th house, square or opposing or in that house. You see what I'm saying? Now, check this out. Check this out. Now, if you got Mercury in the fourth house, you have to search the same way you get a headache to find why you need to stop having a headache, to find ways to stop having a headache, or whatever the health problem is, whether it's your eyes, your head, your hair, your ears, you know what I'm saying, even your nose to a certain degree, even though that's attached to, Aries and Taurus kind of, first house, second house kind of share that, but for the most part, it's all a blending, like constellations, asterisms, but for the most part, it's all connected. But you will look towards something that's dealing with domestic issues or home life, or go look for a private doctor. Don't look for a public doctor. Don't go to the emergency room. They'll never help you. You know what I'm saying? You will have to look towards a private doctor. Get a home doctor. That'll be the only way that your first house health issues will get rectified. See, in other people's alignments may be different, but in your case, if you got the first house lord in the fourth, house, in your case, you need a private doctor. Every time you go to the emergency room, they ain't gonna never know what the fuck they talking about. You see what I'm saying? So fourth house deals with privacy, home, domestic issues. You need to find someone you're comfortable with, or something you're comfortable with. Not just with someone telling you what logically will help your health problems dealing with the first house. You need to go find a personal person on the internet, someone who got personal results, that this pill help their headache go away, or this pill help their air problems, or these glasses help their eye problems. You see what I'm saying? That's how you have to see. That's what'll help you. So you might got people in your life giving you advice who got a whole nother alignment, and they may be leading you in the 11th house, telling you to go out in the public somewhere, or to go to a public hospital, or you see what I'm saying, or they may give you a recommendation to somebody that they deal with, that's public, aka now you have to step into your 7th house. You have to do a one-on-one relationship. You see what I'm saying? That ain't gonna work for you. So before you get frustrated at this person who giving you advice, get frustrated at yourself, because you need to learn yourself. You see what I'm saying? So you have to use the house lord's house energy to find the natural remedies to fix your health issues. So I hope I made sense, because I feel like I ain't break it down logical, because I ain't a logical person. I'm a right brain person. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the star lord is how, and the star itself is how you should play out that energy. So like I said, if the first house lord is Mercury and it's in the 4th house, then you need to construct that house. You need to construct finding a private doctor or finding something that's comfortable for you. You need to construct that in a way of dealing with logic or analyzing or communicating in some type of way. If it was the sun, you need to do it based upon your actions or what you're paying attention to or the shit you get involved with. You know what I'm saying? If it was Jupiter, then it's something you need to be wise on, gain more experience on. You know what I'm saying? So take advice in that area. You know, and it goes deep. So, yeah, keep that in mind. I don't even think I said Jupiter. If it's Jupiter in the house, right? Because that'd be the start. Now, if it's Jupiter in that house or squared or opposing that actual house that's giving you the health problems, then a lot of times it's something that you're experiencing too much. It's a too much of a routine. And Jupiter in the 9th house is all about experiences, because you extract wisdom and knowledge and place new meanings or reasonings behind experiences. And once you have an experience, that allows your mind to expand. So you're being expanded amongst things that you probably are unaware of. So, you know, it goes deep. But this is astrology and motherfucking health. Flight boss, bitch. Goddamn air.